hello. 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 Hello.
Before me, which one be increased?
Now, did you hear anything?
Hello.
Come on, come on, come on. That's my work for Nigeria. The children of nowadays are wiser than us.
Hello. 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 You don't work now. Hello. Hello.
So, sir, in summary, what I want to tell every Nigerian is that Nigeria is a survivor of the you that is voting for government, you're just a political who wants to be defeated, yo. That is the truth. The earlier you learn that, okay.
Yeah, welcome back, and let's go back to the newspaper headlines. This morning we have the Vanguard with us, and also we have the Nation's newspaper. A quick one on the Vanguard. Electoral Act reps in free for all, anger in Senate. Reps in free for all, anger in Senate. Senate approves Buhari's request for $8.325 billion, 490 million euros external loan. Senate approves Buhari's request for $8.325 billion, 490 million euros external loan. Nigerians suffering, Emir of Kano tells Buhari. Nigerians suffering, Emir of Kano tells Buhari. Okay, the reasons are over electronic transmission of results. The House invites INEC chairman NCCDG for clarifications on readiness for electronic transmission of results. On readiness for electronic transmission of results. Whittles down provision on electronic transmission of results. INEC to consider electronic transmission of results if national coverage is adjudged by NCC, approved by National Assembly, says Senate. INEC to consider electronic transmission of results if national coverage is adjudged by NCC, approved by National Assembly, says Senate. Eid el-Kabir, federal government declares Tuesday, Wednesday public holidays. Eid el-Kabir, federal government declares Tuesday, Wednesday public holidays. It's sad Naira has lost its value. That's from NECA. Okay, on the petroleum industrial bill, rowdy session as reps clash over 3% for oil communities. Rowdy rep session over 3% for oil communities. Journalist, policeman, Okada rider killed in Ondo bank robbery. Okay, COVID-19 NAFDAC approves AstraZeneca, Moderna vaccines for Nigeria. Let's move over to the Nation's newspaper, the main headline in the Nation's newspaper this morning. Senate dumps proposal on e-transmission of results. Senate dumps proposal on e-transmission of results. Electoral Act amendment passed by divided Senate. Electoral Act amendment passed by divided Senate. House reconvenes today after rowdy session. House reconvenes today after rowdy session. This is a proposal that the Commission may transmit results of elections by electronic means where and when practicable. That's the proposal. The Commission may transmit results of elections by electronic means where and when practicable. Now the amendment, INEC may transmit results provided that the network has been adjudged, secured by NCC and approved by the National Assembly. 52 senators said no to the proposal. 52 senators said no to the proposal, while 28 we are saying yes to the proposal. 28 also were absent at the sitting. PIB, South leaders reject 3% for host communities. Pandef, INC protests. Okay, a quick one. Let's move over to our review this morning as we look into the headlines. I have with me Mr. Matthew. Good morning, man. Good morning, Mr. Matthew.
Good morning, Mr. Christian.
Let's look at the bill on the House of Senate. The proposal is the Commission may transmit results of election by electronic means where and when practicable. Now, the amendment, INEC may transmit results provided that the network has been adjudged, secured by NCC and approved by the National Assembly. If you're a senator, which one will you go for?
If I'm a senator, I don't hope to be a senator anyway. But I think the right thing to do is to remove that lacuna. Don't give INEC the power, the discretionary power. Let the law be direct. Let them be electronic transfer of results. That's the way to go. Anything outside that, the politician will exploit against the people. Once you give INEC discretionary power, you give NCC the power to determine when an area is feasible for electronic transfer of results. Once you give National Assembly the leverage to decide when an environment is feasible for electronic transfer, you are already killing the system. The reason is not far-fetched. Look at the leverage given to the House of Senate and House of Rep with respect to declaring seat of a member vacant when the member defers to another political platform after winning an election in another political platform. Look at how both the Senate and Rep have abused, both the Senate and Rep leadership have abused that provision of the Constitution. There are instances where members of APC, PDP will defer to APC, and PDP members, caucus, will be calling on the Senate President or the Speaker of House of Rep, as the case may be, to declare their seat vacant, and they will ignore it. Under the leadership of both house, led by PDP, there are instances where APC members, APC members will defer to PDP, and the APC caucus will be calling on the leadership of the House to declare their seat vacant, and the leadership will ignore it. So if you give them that leverage, they will abuse it. And if you give INEC discretionary power, politicians will exploit against the process. If you want to deepen democracy, you want to have free, fair and credible election, the right thing to do is to be direct. Let all the election results be transmitted electronically.
There is an amendment that INEC may transmit results provided that the network has been adjudged by NCC and approved by the National.
What I'm telling you is not fair. It's not fair. Because what happens is, if politicians, the government that be, if they are not comfortable in winning an election in an area, they will tell you that they will compel NCC to tell INEC that election is not feasible. The transmission of election result in that area is not feasible. And once that happens, INEC will not transmit the election electronically. Let me tell you something. If the government wants to extend the election in this country, they will go to the army, the police, the DSS, and get a report and tell you that in XYZ state, local government, that security reports say that election cannot hold. For that reason, they will compel INEC to postpone the election. Even as genuine as it was when Jonathan postponed the election for 6 weeks before 2015 election, the reason he used, though it was genuine, it was based on security reports. So as genuine as it was then, government who want to be fraudulent can leverage on security report to tell you that this area is not feasible for election to be conducted, therefore INEC shift the election, and INEC will have no option. In the same vein, if you give INEC discretionary power, they will abuse it. Even judges have sometimes abused the discretionary power being given to them by the Constitution. So in Nigeria, discretion do not work. because we don't have people who are credible. We don't have people who want to live above board. I think this government of Muhammadu Buhari have a responsibility of leaving good legacy. The only good legacy they would leave behind is, what I mean, this government, I'm calling on the three arms of government. They should synergize to give us electoral laws that will usher in free, fair, and credible election. I will tell you this: as bad as people will see Jonathan did something that has earned him respect globally. It was because Jonathan allowed Karida to say true under his watch that he lost that election.
That is that's your opinion.
I will tell you why.
Okay.
Before PVC voting voters card, if you as the government empowerment the national government, you want to rig election in an area, because people who register in a particular state, let's assume they are 1.5 million persons, and by the time people will start collecting PVC, maybe 800 persons have collected. What they used to do hitherto is the difference. Once you register like 1.5 million persons, you can leverage on the 1.5 to turn out the vote and ask and manipulate the result through INEC. But what PVC tells you is that if you register 1.5 million and by the time you start collecting permanent voters card, only 800 persons come to collect their card physically. It tells you that is the number, the eligible voters in that state, and there's no way you can vote above your voting strength. That is how Jonathan lost at that election, and it was a good thing he allowed that thing to say true. That is why we can now see credible election. And to deepen the democracy further, we need laws that will compel INEC to go by electronic transfer, because the election manipulation starts after the casting of votes. If you have a system where even before the result move from the polling unit to one collation center, it is already transmitted to a designated site where all the international observers, local observers who have been duly accredited by INEC will have access to and monitor the process. That notwithstanding, the hard copy will still be there for verification in case there's any issue of manipulation or not. So for me, the right thing to do is to compel INEC by law to have electronic transfer.
But one of the lawmakers said that it is not practicable. Electronic transmission of result is not practicable in his constituency.
It's not true. I'll tell you why I'm saying it's not true. We are not saying that every voter should have access to the device to transmit it. If the INEC, the polling officer, INEC officer, whether ad hoc or permanent staff, whichever way it is, who is saddled with that responsibility of conducting the election in the polling unit, we have a device through which is either you snap the hard copy already tallied, or you put it into the device, you send to a designated site.
What if there's network there?
You can have a device that is not running on the people were using walkie-talkie before now. So there are devices that can run independent of the general network we are seeing in the localities. So I think people who are who are against electronic transfer for whatever reason, they are afraid of free and fair election. They only bring fraudulent.
Are you saying that the government wants to rig? They have a plan to rig the election?
Anybody that is not supporting electronic transfer of result is planning to rig. It's immaterial who if Muhammadu Buhari is in support, is planning to rig. If senators are in support, they are planning to rig. Because electronic transfer is not going to harm anybody. Rather, it's going to deepen democracy. It's going to enhance credible. It's going to make the election more credible. The only way you can see credible, free and fair election in Nigeria, and you have the result has been casted in the unit, is if you transmit the election result electronically. By our standard, the electorates are supposed to be the arbiter of who determines who win an election in a particular jurisdiction. But in Nigeria, the reverse is the case. When you, a situation where you have the politicians, you have the political class, they will interfere with the process, they will use money to influence the process, and they perpetuate themselves into power. So the only way you can checkmate them is to carry that result, is to from the point of voting, polling unit, how that transmitted to a designated site. That will remove all the fraudulent activities that go on before you see the result declared.
Okay, petroleum industrial bill. South leaders reject 3% for host communities. It caused an uproar in the house. What is your take?
I think there is a conspiracy against the South by the northern people. Because look at the information that came from the group managing director of NNPC. He's the one that forced the house to bring it down to 3%. Because he was quoted to have said that 3% will amount to about 503 million US dollars. However, I look at it, he was not fast or quick enough to tell Nigerians the 30% they are proposing to prospect oil in frontier basins, which are majorly in the north, that is going to come from profit that will accrue to NNPC. He have not told Nigerians. What would that 30% amount to? So I think the government is being fraudulent. I think the 30% is grossly inadequate. And I think, and the way it stands, the government or the National Assembly have already passed a law. And I don't think they are ready to revisit it. And you just watch, you will see the speed of light with which Mr. President will ascend to this bill. Because that is where their interests lie. Look at, as we speak, we have over 200 bills waiting for presidential assent. And here we have Mr. President calling the National Assembly to raise the process of water resources bill. And water resources bill is another Ruga in disguise. So for me, they only do it in areas where they have interest. Staying on the question you ask, I hope this will not trigger instability in the South, because for me, that percentage is grossly inadequate.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Matthew. I have Mr. Samuel. Sorry, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Christian.
Yeah, PDP.
Good morning, viewers at home.
Okay. PDP is saying that APC wants to rig election with this electronic transmission brouhaha.
No, PDP should go and sit down. They don't have the morality to even talk about rigging of election. So it's people like us that we have the morality, because we've not been in power, to have done the same thing. So there are other good Nigerians that should complain about that. But whichever way, they also have a right to criticize. But they've not technically, under Obasanjo, really done well. Apart from a liberal Jonathan that was a little bit here and there, decided to overlook so many things. And that's the essence of education. Because when you check the attitude of a Yaradua, a Northerner, and that of Jonathan, you can't compare them to what Buhari, a Northerner, and Obasanjo, a Southerner, did. So a level of education plays a long way in people's attitudinal disposition. And they might not be perfect in the true sense of perfection, but it goes a long way in shaping their ideas of how they look at some issues and how they respond to issues. So looking at that, it is a fact that those, whoever, not just the PDP saying that, who does not in this time, 2021, want electronic remittance. See, there's a difference between electronic. See, I don't like speaking English because of the country we'll find ourselves. Difference there between electronic voting and electronic transfer of results. Two, there's difference. So the House of Rep or the Legislature and the Senate understands what they are doing. After the answers, they block Twitter. They know that people will rise up to shock them. So they are always looking for a lacuna where they can easily manipulate the system. If somebody, I was listening to the deputy speaker, Febi Gbajamila was clever by half to run and go and sit down in the chamber, because we were expecting him, after the critics they've done to this same system years back, including the professor of law that is the vice president. It is a shame on intellectual consciousness of some of these educated people who at a point will pick a subject of conversation and agitate what they cannot even do when they get to power. We know how they criticized back government back then on subject of voting. Back then, we know how they talked about policing, state policing. We know how they mentioned if they were in opposition, they would have gone for electronic remittance of results. The difference is that if you're voting electronically, you go need send all your votes through inbox, emailing, just like what happened to US. Nigeria has not even got into that thing. And Jegan INEC have even said That is not what they are even clamoring for. The only thing they are saying is when you vote manually, upload those results electronically. All what you need is just to snap, and you might not even need the server. Evans in this same country bought a phone that beats server. It beats server. And if Evans, a kidnapper in this same Nigeria, we want to track anybody, we surpass the current server of the Nigerian political landscape to catch whoever he wants to get in contact with. And the intelligence Nigerian police cannot catch him. So it simply means there's no part of Africa, I repeat, because when you talk with a bunch of people that don't understand their left or right and they want to manipulate the system by using cheap points, I want to push it out. They can share the video to the so-called deputy speaker from Jos. It's a pity that the North always have this kind of people as a representation. There is no part of Nigeria. I'm talking from an IT concept. Now you are saying they should bring NCC, whose leadership is the Northerner, and the INEC, whose leadership is the Northerner. So what do you expect? So they will tell you that in some part of the North, there's no part of this country that if you want to pass anything electronically, IT experts, you don't need the server. We are saying it so that they can share this video to some of these illiterate political office holders. There is no part of Nigeria. Aline Dume does video with channels from Borno State that if you are serious, you want to send any information electronically in this country as at 2021. We are not. You can say this when they just brought phone and internet as at that point in time to make a sane argument. As at 2021. There are technology. Maybe because I'm a Southern, I don't know how they do in Jos, but I know in Jos, in this same country, that you don't need these network providers, and you will pass the same information whole line and sinker without headache. So I was listening to him when he was sitting down there. They gave him the dirty job to do. The voices in the house wanted for electronic transmission of results. He knocked the gavel and said, they may have it. It shows you the kind of system that has been characterized to be destabilized at the end of the day. Now, this is what will happen. If it is the will of God that Nigeria will never remain together, it's a conditional statement. God should add in the heart of the leaders to always be doing things that we consciously and subconsciously, directly or indirectly, create the revolt system gradually in the mind of the people. Even after 100 years or 200, the will of God must be perfected, even if it's division of the country. So some of us, we are looking at the biblical perspective, we are not bothered, because directly and indirectly, everything is working together for good. For those who understand the scripture and who also understand political movements of divided nations for years. Now, leaving us aside, let us be factual. If you say they should not transmit ordinary results electronically, which I know most of our part, some of the Southern rep and some of the Senate were cowed. Immediately we hear an executive session when an issue of tough debate is going on. Not that immediately they come out from that executive session. There was a woman, I don't even want to know her name, she's a senator, one of these go and represent us. She was initially in support of the internet remittance of results. Immediately they come out from this executive session, all these brainwashed puppets who find themselves within the political system that uses hypocrisy, deception, double standard, greed, nepotism, and the politics of my Oga said, Oga Sokwe. So she came back and said, because of the fact that we don't want to disrupt the work of INEC. INEC has been saying that because the work on INEC with the kind of politicians we have, I pity INEC officers. You can't be fair. It's like if you remove the results online, before you say you want to hijack INEC in the process of carrying the result to the collection center, they has already said the results online. So INEC staff said will be safe. Nobody will attack them on the bush like what happened in Imo State, whereby an INEC officer said she was pressurized to announce our statue governor. So it shows you. So what that would have happened if they would have uploaded the result instantly, but because the systemic failure of the kind of leadership structure we have in the House of Representatives and the Senate, and they've not been doing anything well. And Let me tell you, they should. I don't pray deep down in my mind that we should do electronic transmission of results, because I know that if this election will not cause another thing, the next election will cause what will be worse times 10 than the answers. I said something the other day. I said, for any nation whereby conversation, simple logic of understanding don't work, the only thing that works in this part of the world is the rule of violence. In Niger Delta would have been doing pressure, let's agitate, let's do this. By now, that region, nobody will listen to them. The past 3%, God should tighten their mind very well. So watch out for season movie of what will happen in those regions. Because those ones, they were expecting that they will pass. You went to bring an NNPC director to come and defend the monetary value of 3%. Now, they were saying is how many $1 million? Who cares how many $1 million we're talking about? But you can approve 30% to be used, to be looking for oil in regions that don't have oil. But the man that owns the oil in his hometown, you can approve ordinary 5%. So you don't see the level of greed or the kind of federal structure that people openly gallivanting. There is no federal system in the world. I studied for comparative foreign policies, and I did about 14 countries. None in the whole world history is practicing what Nigeria is practicing. Nigeria is the only country practicing the most stupid and not reasonable act of federalism in the world history. Nigeria is the only country practicing what you are practicing in human history. So when you don't see people now come and say, is this thing you are seeing 3% for Niger Delta, looking logical, that peace will be in that region. So God should continue adding their ads, so that whatever they come up with, we will all witness. Just like how some people handled the case of Boko Haram. And I pray that God should add in their ad. They should catch Sunday Igboho, they should catch Nnamdi Kanu. If possible, it should also end to the result of what happened to Yusuf when he died in the hands of Boko Haram. We will all enjoy and see how the country will look like at the end of the day.
Okay.
Now,
lastly, look at the body language of the president.
which president? Sorry.
Muhammad Buhari.
The president's body language is only for the north. His body language is always happy when such things happen, because it's not favoring Fulani. Now the president cannot come up and tell you that, let's go and bring the 1960 something constitution whereby we'll do regionalism. If the oil was in the north, the president would have gone to dug out the regional constitution so that the north to. So the president body language has always been very strong, and I love him for that. We only have betrayals of political opportunists in the south. Who goes there apart from Eyinaya Abaribe and the senator from Akwa Ibom State, Senator Basi, and some few who are vibrant in standing their ground to push on? The majority of the southern cacophony have constituted nothing but a political mismarriage. They've just been there for selfish and corrupt, barbaric, sentimental and greedy purposes. And that is why somebody like me, I'm always happy when I look at those kind of systems, either good or bad. I know that it is moving towards an end, because every action have a repercussional effect. Just like when they send the police to kill in Essence, there was a repercussional effect. So when you give the 33%, you will hear it in your pipelines and the exploration. So it is not, see, me, I'm always happy, even if it's good or bad, they should continue. Because according to Niccolo Machiavelli, he said, and I quote, that the end justify the means. Must you continue in sin that grace might abound? Must we be doing the same level of stupidity and hopeless policies that have not brought out the country to where it's supposed to be as a federating nation? They will now think that change is not only change, it's next level of one-term destruction that will characterize the pipeline explosion that will engulf the south-south region. I give you dates from now. You will start hearing bomb blast. So I'm seeing the security apparatus that will be used to hold down the southwest, and Sunday go. Southeast is a constant. So north central, kidnapping. Northeast, Boko Haram. Then northwest, kidnapping and all sorts of what we don't know. Nigeria, good morning.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Samuel. I have Mr. Chigozie. Good morning, Mr. Chigozie.
Yeah, good morning, Christian and some viewers.
Looking at the development, the bill that was passed yesterday, the PDP has come out to say that the APC wants to rig the election by not assenting to electronical transmission of results. What's your take on that?
I'm very much happy for this. having listened to Mr. Samuel, I appreciate him for lending his voice to this struggle and the emancipation of the humanity force and the Southerners. If you are related to anyone within the corridor of power or any politician within the southern region and speaking to the audience, please, you better warn them to desist from this act of betrayal against their own people. Because if they fail to do such, if they fail to distance themselves from this conspiracy against their own people, what is coming upon the southern region, the supposed southern Nigeria, will shock the whole world. See, I don't understand PDP, as far as I'm concerned, is dead. And APC, of course, is dead and dead and dead. So we don't have system. There are gross abuse of rules and regulations that should be guiding a democratic setting. We are not adhering to tenets of democracy. The supposed democracy we profess to have been practicing. How on earth can you convince even somebody that is not schooled, you see, that electronic transmission of results will be to the disadvantage of the masses? How? Of course, it is in the public domain that we have dummies, the people who you call your House of the representatives or senators. They are just not entities. They are just dummies, as useless as whatever you can think of. In 21st century, where other community of nations are moving faster, you see, almost closer to the speed of light. We are talking about 4G, the fifth generation of transmission, the speed of data transmission. And we are still taking us back 200 years backwards. You can understand and how do you expect Nigeria to move forward with this set of people? With this set of legislators who don't know their left from the right, who can distinguish, who don't even know, they are not articulate, they are not there, they are not productive. What are the advantages of transmission of data or the outcome of an electionary process? First, reduce the overall cost of carrying luggages and materials from one point to the other, even after the electionary process is done. First, it will reduce the cost of production, which they have created a lacuna, a means of extorting, ripping up the Nigerian state. So they wouldn't want to block that angle, because money, billions of naira will be voted for logistics, transmission of those. So that is why they are afraid of blocking that means of extorting the country. One again, they understood that they have lost the popularity. They have lost, they can't win, they have lost the confidence of the people. They can no longer win the people's minds. So by implication, they already knew that, of course, if Nigeria survives till 2023, they are likely to lose the election. You can understand their fears. So by that, they are scheming a perfecting way of circumventing and, of course, stealing the mandates from the electorate. By so, this has been the recurrent. Okay, look at INEC came up with 55,000 new polling units. And out of these 55,000 polling units, only 10,000 was given to the South, the entire South, 10,000. While 45,000 was assigned to the northern region. What is the implication of that? They have already rigged the election. The northern region that are more porous and more volatile, you assign 45,000 new polling units to the north. Where are these people coming from? Are they the people who are running or scoring for their safety in IDPs? Where are you taking? Or people who have fled to Chad or Niger Republic? Or are you inviting a different entity down to the northern region that should accommodate such number of new polling units? You can understand the systematic maneuvering and the politicking that is ongoing. You see, by that arrangement, they have already rigged the election. Because they are going to produce excessive vote from that 45,000 units that will outweigh every other vote that may be coming from the southern region. You can see the conspiracy. They are bent and it's a deliberate attempt. They own the INEC. Of course, you can see the pantomime of the NCC. So they have positioned their people in strategic, of course, axis, so that by any means they will retain the power. And unfortunately, most of the southern idiotic representatives are playing to the gallery, supporting in this 21st century that voting against electronic transmission of results. And these are people who tell you they are schooled. These are people who has traveled and have seen different countries. Of course, we claim we copied from the United Nations. People are moving ahead and we intend to remain backward. Now, how do you allow me to express myself, please? There shouldn't be any interruption from anywhere. How do you expect a nation of this kind to move forward? When we tell you that Nigeria is dead and you are doubting us, but as time unfolds, you continue to see the reality. Our position we have maintained for several years. Because we know that Nigeria is leading towards an irreversible end. How could a section of the country who are almost alienated from this country, they were given opportunity as a result of free movement, came to dislodge other ethnic nationalities? You can see the possibility of silence, that is going on in this country, and it's unfortunate that the South are not seeing the handwriting on the wall. These people are perfecting every possible means to Islamize the Nigerian state. Look at the so-called Bajamila. He was promoting and canvassing for his Arabic destiny to be enlisted in one of the lingua franca, recognized languages that should be spoken, and also promoting of Islamic religion as one of the way to pacify the people or to call for peace if peace must take its hold in Nigeria. Every move they make, look at even the president is still pushing for the waterways control bill, water resources bill, all in the name of preparing for the 2022 jihad war, and which is very imminent, and unfortunately we are not learning lessons very fast as we should. It's quite unfortunate, and whatever happens, we are all watching. But we shouldn't watch and fold our hands to the detriment of not just ourselves, for the unborn generation, posterity, who possibly may not have anywhere to call their home. Even though they may not be interested to identify with their home. People who have escaped the territory might not want to visit their own region, even in Oduduwa or Biafran nation. Every hand must be on deck to fight this monster, to fight this heinous, diabolic crime, this monumental disaster that is already looming. So this is not about playing politics, it's not about sentiment. This is about reality. It's about survival of a race, of a nation. And of course, thank God for Esther. Mordecai said, who knows whether at this time God have raised you up so that you can defend the people of the Hebrews in a straight land. But unfortunately, most of our governors are not learning lessons. They think that is an opportunity for them to compromise and betray their own people at the expense of their own people, which is, of course, the North will continue to take undue advantage of us. It is high time to rise against this heinous crime. There is nowhere in the world that you can be promoting analog or you can vote against electronic voting. Even it will be an advantage to the northern region because it is more volatile. The area is more volatile, more violence prone. The snatching of votes and the killing of ad hoc staff should have been taken care of by mere electronic transmission. So why are they voting against it? Because they are afraid of losing power. Because they have made it categorically known so that they can no longer trust their destiny and their future to any southerner produced as the president of Nigeria.
How do you look at the presidential elections with this bill?
In fact, it is already gone. I'm telling you the truth, they have perfected everything. I told you that only 10,000 new units, polling units was created in the southern region, the entire south, which comprises south, southeast, and southwest. But 45,000 was ceded to the north. 45,000. Where are the population? Who are the people that we vote? Because that is a mechanism they have devised to rig the election, because they knew that from those 45,000 they can beat every other vote coming from the south. And that's why they are not in support of the electronic transmission, because virtually every result will be tripping in within a specified time. They will allow the South to transmit electronically while they do their manual rigging and perfection. You see, they call Bronu that all the entire villagers or community have deserted, producing 4 million people. Where are those people coming from? And is it a country you would desire to identify with? You force me, you cannot live with animals. They have lost their sense of reason. They have lost their sense, they have no conscience. And we cannot continue with this sort of people. We have common ideology, we share reason together to move. We can in a progressive manner, not in this failed system.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning. Yeah. I love you look like a senator. The Senate has passed the bill to transmit electronic results electronically. And then there is a hold for now. So how do you look at some senators rejecting electronic results electronically?
Yeah, I've foreseen this thing coming. I foresee this thing coming for a while now. I foresee it coming, and I said it like 2 days or 3 days ago that it's only people that are mentally sound, that are educationally sound, that can go along with you with this transmission of electronic results. I mean, electronic transmission of the results. Now, a senator, I've said it on here before, from that side, that their own people, they are not too knowledgeable for that now. Majority of the northern states, there is still a shortfall of the knowledge of that. So they want to take care of those people and those people are the majority of the voters. How do you want to tell me a 17-year-old boy from Katsina or from Niger or from Sokoto that does not even know anything about Haiti, right? How do you want to convince him that his vote is going to be, electronic transmission, right? And you see, this country, when the problem we're having is when some section of the country decided to move forward, some section of the country decided to stay put on one side and not improving on the knowledge base that's supposed to move them forward. That is what we're saying now. And there's a fear now that you guys, you IT gurus from the south can, turn around things against them. So the bill has to be killed. Or the bill has to be.
Support that the bill should be killed?
Definitely, because your world, we have to move along with the world. The space is big enough. Let's move along with the trend in the world. We are copying American system of government, and the American system of government, we saw what happened between Biden of Democrats and Trump of Republic. We saw what happened. All the votes, people were even voting at work, and as they are voting electronically, it's being transmitted. The result is being transmitted, and you could see what happened in the election of is it California or was it California at that time? Election of California. That was
Michigan and Miami.
Michigan and thank you, my brother. Michigan and Miami, which was the stronghold of the Republicans. You could see what happened. That it was the electronic transmission results they had there that gave Biden peace of mind, that gave Biden the big victory. So I've told you, this country, very soon the light will be put up and will be in darkness entirely. And how do we get here? How did we get here? We've accommodated a lot of garbage and rubbish for all along of our life, daily activities. We've, accumulated a lot of debt around us, and that debt now, to filter it away, is becoming a big problem. And that debt we've accumulated is the one causing the, hula baloo that happened in National Assembly. And mind you, there's no trust between the two divides. There's no trust. Nobody trusts each other again. And that's why I say, let everybody calm down. The way the Georgia that nearly turned to, war in the National Assembly, let us Georgia and find a way out. Do we still want to stay together and let the majority carry the vote? And what is there now is, if the majority doesn't even carry the vote, sample the opinion polls of people around. If it's not going to be, let there be referendum. Everybody go back to your state. Consult your people. Do you want to stay in Nigeria or not? I'm like me, myself. I know where I belong. I'm tired of this country. I have to tell you, I want to go my way. And when the problem, the way the country is going now, is like when the Pharaoh was terrorizing the Israelites in the land of Egypt, God raised Moses to set them free, right? And the way things are now, God should raise the right-thinking politicians for the south, so that they will set us free and we depart from all this jargon that has been happening.
Okay. Senate approves Buhari's request for $8.325 billion and 490 million euro external loan.
For what? What are they using the loan for?
We have to service our debt.
Debt.
We have concurrent bills, recurrent and services, salaries and all.
So that means all the loan you've been collecting, there's no one for infrastructural development.
No,
there is. And the one that is being patronised for infrastructural development, what portion of that loan is going to private pockets? What portion of that loan that is going to private pocket? You could see what is happening just of recent. They said some NDA federal parastatals that have failed to remit almost 300 billion naira into the government's coffer. How did that money filter the way into private pockets? You see, when the two elephant fight, is the grass that will definitely suffer. Who are the grass? We people are the grass. And I pity, that's why I always pity a common man. And in a common man, what I'll say, a common man that is enclaved in a republic, under a republic, and is being tagged a second citizen. And who are the second citizens? I'm one of the second citizens. I have no rights of my own. Somebody has to dictate. A second citizen is the one that is being approached with two laws. One law for the first citizen and another law for the second citizen. And the law for the second citizen is a parochial law that men, to survive it, to be hard for you. To be hard for you. So we are in a real mess in this country. And we've accumulated the garbage up till now that it has now turned to serious problem for us to clear. It's been for all over. This thing has been happening. Now the election that is coming up, they said the fear of what's it called? The fear of the election is the beginning of wisdom. Now the election, all of them are working towards who is bringing up the presidency. Now the North still want that presidency to stay put with them. That's why they are telling you, you can't force us to support your own agenda. You have to consult us. You have to rub minds with us. And the issue there now is, the problem in the North now, they believe it's the only northerner that can solve it. You know, there's no trust. There's no electoral trust. There's no economical trust between the both sides. So that's why we are in this shit we are now today. And I don't know.
So what is the best option? The
best option, I've said all over and all over. The agitation is going on.
There's only going into hiding.
The spirit is still lives on. The spirit is going on. The spirit is in everybody. The spirit is in me. I'm so tired, as I'm telling you, I'm so tired. I'm too tired of this so-called country called Nigeria, because I'm not benefiting anything. And in a country where you stay for almost 40-something years and nothing is happening, you have to back out, say, let me try another. Is the only madman that keeps doing what is not, benefiting to him, and he keeps repeating same mistake. I'm tired for this. That is why I said, let us sit down, let everybody sit down, judge how to go our separate ways. Because we are just being a copycat, and the copycat we try to copy, which is the American system of government. We are just turning it into a scam here, which is not working. So we've tried all the system. We've tried the regional system in the First Republic. It works. Let us go back to that regional system. Let everybody answer their papa name. Right? Me, I'm tired of all this. See, the tongues are different. The tongues are different. And once the tongue is different, there's bound to be commotion. There's bound to be, enmity. Because we don't understand ourselves any longer. Forget about. You could see what happened in National Assembly the other time. There's a device between the North and the South. So the center can no longer hold the way I'm saying things, except we want to deceive ourselves. And when two element fight, is the grass that will still keep suffering. Me, I don't want to suffer any longer.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr.
Thank you.
Yeah, you don't want to suffer anymore. You put us for this mess. He part of the one that put us for this mess. During 2014, he voted for Buhari. He voted for him. He collected rice, collected clothes, collected t-shirts.
I collected rice.
Today he's crying now. Today he's crying now.
This guy
That's the problem.
is a political servant.
All
these guys, they work for some ex-governor. He works for some ex-governor, both in PDP, both in APC. They are one of the traitor youths. Yeah, he's part of the people that hate our money. So it's just an eye saving that is taking here. We know them. It belongs to the security family. He used his mouth to say he helped. He used his mouth to tell us he worked for Okorosha. So what's he now saying here? I've never tested any politician money. I'm an ideological person. So don't come and malign me here.
Wait, you have been speaking. Hold on. You have been speaking more than 30 minutes since I never interrupt. Now what I'm saying is that you are part of people who put us for this mess. Wait, let me say something.
When the person is not working, I go against him. If it is my father,
now,
I have the right.
Now, thank God, now he realized that he put a wrong person there.
This guy is a chameleon.
The reason is that just one person.
When I see Basi, I think for me.
No, let me listen. You spoke for over 30 minutes. Allow me to talk. Leave all this one.
He's one of the Okorocha boys. He
down.
make money under Okorocha. He make money under Tinubu. He said he has worked for all the politicians. And you are coming here to come and start backstabbing them. Bring any politician that said that collected #1 from you. Go anywhere. I'm in my community now. I castigate the party.
Now, why is he angry? You have been here for 30 minutes. You have been here for 30 minutes. Now, what I'm saying, you led us for this mess. You are the people that voted for APC. Yes, I voted for PDP because one man deceived you, which is Tinubu, who brought clothes, brought uniform, brought rice, brought everything for you. And I told you last time, I told you that day, say, look, where you are going, this man you are bringing is a sick man. He's a sick man. Now today, my happiness, you are come back to our old senses now. Now what we are going to do?
We like it that way. This guy said he has been to body land.
Allow me be podium. Don't disturb me. That be here 30 minutes, my brother. Let's go ahead. I don't know why you be G3. Okay. Why you G3? Go ahead. Continue. Yes, my own is that people don't believe the truth. Now the point is that he is here lamenting that this government is that. I'm telling you that I never voted for APC. I voted for PDP, which I can't deny it. But what I'm saying is that you led for this mess. Just one man can deceive you, my brother. Please allow this. One man can just come and deceive the Southwest. In the just said, everybody know us. I'm from Isha. We don't take nonsense. I don't know be Lagos. I always say it. When the Somali came to deceive us, we told the Somali no way. I left Lagos to Benin to make sure that Somali defeated. We defeated Somali. But here, one man will just take for Bondilo and direct you that this man, this is what a person I want, this person I want. Likewise, what is going on in Chama now? Look at government, look at the election, the jamboree they did, the primary, they went and select their brothers and sisters. Now, these people will believe them. But in a state, we don't do that. After all, we dead with the Somali. And now the governor there now, whatever we say, that's what governor listen to. So we must have made mistake. Now we have to learn our lesson. So that area I'm trying to let you know that they put us for this mess. Thank you very much.
Okay, Senate dumps a proposal on e-transmission of results. They don't want to transmit results electronically.
Bros, you can see, I told you right last week, we have a president, that analog president, we have a senator, a senate president, analog senator president, we have speakers, analog speakers. The speaker is from Yorubas. You know what I mean? The senate president is from the north, and the president, analog president is from the north. What do you expect? Even though
they agree transmission for result. Do you think whatever they are going to transmit from the candle, if they have told you they transmit 10 million to your reserve, are you not going to believe? You believe? Or they tell you Jigawa have 10 million in Jigawa, are you not going to believe? It's here we argue ourselves. It's here we argue ourselves. I don't understand. It's here we argue ourselves because some of people don't believe themselves. Whatever, I don't believe that. The best vote is to go back to 1993 election, where you have PDP line up here, have a that's the best result. Not all this they are doing. What do you expect? They don't agree. They are the same thing, APC. When PDP are joining APC, those who are governor joining APC, what do you expect? All of that be bought.
So are you saying 2020 election will be rigged?
It's rigged already. If the president for 6 years who cannot wake up, now suddenly the president have wake up, something is wrong somewhere. My own text is the anger is that our South leaders, they don't know what is going on. You see projects happening in the north every day. President going to commission project in Kano. Our Minister of Transportation, our brother Mechi, sitting in Kano in the north doing project in there. When good law was there, the same thing. I expect the president at least to focus in the south. Now nothing is going on. I'm not yet to speak grammar. I'm yet to tell the truth. Go to the north now, sit there doing birthday conferences, disposing money in the north, but nothing happening in the south. And our people here, the governors, they are sitting down, nothing. They're not doing anything. You only yet lamenting. And yesterday, I always make sure yam. 5 tuber of yam now, or 3 tuber of yam, it's almost 4,000, 6,000.
I went to market the other day.
It's very expensive.
I witnessed it.
So my brother.
So yam is how much now?
3 tuber of yam, 5,000 plus 6,000, which is very wrong. I thank God, the Nigerian president and the vice president telling the whole world that they have 6 billion farmer just this year, and the farmer came out and said it's a lie. And our president is boasting that he has pumped a lot of money in farmer. Now, how can yam and rice? And the worst one be say when they seize rice, seize tomatoes in the southwest, they will take it to the north to go and feed their people. And our boys, lamenting. Every day you come here, we need to move. We are doing our own here. We are protesting. Every day we come here to. Is it easy to talk? If it's easy to talk, let everybody come and talk. But what I'm saying, I put the name, I made the hair. Our South governors, our leaders are not serious. And that's why the youth, we need to go there and shake them. That's the way they shake NSAS. The day that NSAS started, our leader, that is why our leader fear us. But today, we relax. So these are not going well. Don't expect result for what? They will do mako. That's it now. Because me and you, we hate ourselves. We cannot allow 10 years old to vote, but it is not. They will allow it. Look at the money they are disbursing now. CBN is it not? Agriculture is it not? Anyway, is it not? Everything they are doing that, and this money is coming from Nigeria Delta. The money is coming from our place.
Okay, they say 3% for most communities.
My brother, if they can develop the way they develop Abuja and Kano with our source, our money, don't give anybody community, don't give community money. Let them use the same way. Go and develop in the Nigeria Delta. You see, we'll be okay because very soon oil will dry. Let me tell you, I can't do it alone. The little I can do, I'm doing here. Our leaders are useless. Because why they're useless? Because they don't think tomorrow. The youth they are bringing up, by the time they react, our leader cannot stand. I give you an example. During NSAS, everybody was at home, Abi, and the boy was doing the damage. What happened? The leader was started begging the youth. I beg, it's okay. But let me tell you, we need to move forward. I'm angry, but things are very hard. Things are tough. People are falling down, going down. So I'm not here to come and start speaking grammar. All this grammar they are speaking here. Bala don't speak grammar. Galifami speak grammar. A lot of them speak grammar. Where are we today? We are backward. That's why you see they are analog. Analog president, analog minister, analog DC. We need to move forward. I'm telling you the truth. We need to move forward. Imagine, can be taking a passport to go to 40,000, 50,000, 60,000 in our Nigeria here. Where are we going? Now, even this NIA, they are using it to make money now. Under Buhari, there's a lot of corruption. Your NIA, you made a mistake for NIA, they have to pay 50,000. Yes. 50,000 naira. Under corruption, under Buhari, under his nose. Corruption is, well, if you increase, I say you are fighting corruption. My brother, take a look at go and check passport. But they don't want us to travel. They are blocking us. Every investment now, all these billions they are stealing. Now they're not. They are using they play the note. And we in South we are planning who will become president. I will become president. Obasanjo 8 years president. Go and look water. He cannot do water. Jonathan, he cannot do this. And this man come again now. Instead of to focus out. Now he focus in north. Because he knows that if he disappoint the north, they won't forget him.
And what's the way forward?
The way forward is we should not hate ourselves in South. Igbo man don't like Yoruba. Yoruba man don't like Igbo man. Igbo man don't like Edo. He's changing. Hold on. He's changing because hunger is there. By the time you have money now, you will leave, go to the north, go and look for Mala. Sort of people to spend it to your brother here. That's what is happening now. If anybody blessed now, the next thing now, you see yourself in Kano or Kaduna or you see yourself in Abuja. Sort of people to put that money in South. That's what they are doing now. All our big men, they run to the north. So that is it. So the way forward is that he left all of us to come together and unite.
Okay.
I don't believe all this grammar. So that is it.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Lucky. That is a wonderful. Okay.
Lucky. Mr. Lucky, wait for me now. I must talk now.
Okay, Mr. Raf, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Chiku.
There are suspicions that the election that is coming up 2023 will be rigged if this bill is passed.
Thank you. This bill is about to scale the fence, so they must pass it. Ask me why.
They must pass it.
Thank you. Ask me why. Right. How did they get to the house? Each and every senators, elected senators, did they not go through electioneering process? People gathered and voted for them, Abi. Okay, did they win? Did they win? Each and every senators in the house, did they win?
They didn't win. Why are they in the house?
They rig it. E-voting, electronic voting, will knock their job. Electronic voting, transmitting it electronically, will knock their job. They are all election scammers. Senate president, rigged. Deputy Senate President, rigged. Every senator in Lagos State, rigged. Every senator in Kano State, rigged. Election, they are all scammers. What do you expect them to do there? So you want them to embrace electronic voting.
The 38 did not support.
Thank you so much.
So you can't say every senator rigged.
Thank you. Every senator, majority carries the vote. The remaining 52. Abi, 50 something and 60. They went for it, Abi. Thank you. Democrat. Is it not majority? One finger points oil, touch oil, palm oil. What happened? The rest, Oga, the whole. They are all thieves. So if they kick against electronically transmission of election results or voting, they are all fraudsters. They will all like to kick it out. They will jettison it out because they are all fraudsters. Okay, listen. In a house, I'm just trying to give you a demonstration, an illustration. We are all thieves. Not really. I'm using figure of speech. I'm not a thief. Then it happened that someone come and say, "Who are you all?" We say, we are sent. We are sent. We are all sent. We are sent. We are sent. You are all canonized. When we are you canonized, everybody lifting hand, giving all manner of dates. Then all of a sudden, someone carrying a bag full of gold. Mr. Sent, all of us say, yes, sir, keep this gold. What will happen? The whole thieves in the house will be struggling. Who will keep the gold? Who will keep the gold? Because if you allow that bag of gold to go home with one person, or the next day, you won't see that thief in the house.
he will get away with that bag of gold. Okay? The whole senators, the whole reps, all of them, what brought them into the house? They rigged their ways to the Senate. All the senators, they rigged their way there. The ones that are supposed to, that serve 4 years, they rig themselves back to serve another 4 years. How do you expect these people to do the needful?
Let's look at the body language of the president.
The body language of the president, he gave that kudos. He gave them kudos because they go against what he hates. The senators in the house go against what Buhari hates. Buhari's hate is our love. What we love is Buhari's hate. So the whole senators, they vote against electronic transmission of results because they are all election fraudsters. They are fraudsters, scammers, election scammers. They can't go for what will favor the electorates. Because they are all election scammers.
In his constituency,
yes,
it is not possible to transmit electronically.
No. We are in the IT age. We are in the computer age. If a senator tells that person is a scammer, that senator is a scammer. No, it's not possible now. No. Nobody can.
It's on part of the north.
No. They start to rebuild infrastructure there. Yes, Nigeria has money. As I'm talking to you now, if it is not applicable there, it's supposed to be applied now because we have enough money. They should fix the whole social infrastructure, amenities there. In order to fix it, as it comes out and say, it's not possible in my own constituency, they should go and fix it now. Okay, such could not be an excuse. You can't tell me that Babalada constituency, there is nothing like cafe where someone could just go and log on to computer and search for information or send email. Go and fix it now. It is possible now. Computer is everywhere. This is computer age. Nobody should come out with such such excuse. It's so heinous. It's so callous. It's a heinous crime to tell me that there is a place in Nigeria that has no access to internet. But there is mast everywhere now. Internet mast, GSM mast. What are you telling me? This is IT, computer age, .com age. Everywhere in the earth, on the earth now, the whole airspace is a global village. What are you coming out with this kind of excuse? They should tell us the name of that rep or senator that says that. What are you telling me, man? Okay. If I want to see what is happening in Kano State now, it's a question of just logging on to Wikipedia. I'll ask Wikipedia, even through the voice. What is going on in Kano State? You bring it. I'll click video, I'll watch it. Man, we are all internet literates. They can no longer deceive us. E-transmission of results could not augur well with the senators in the house because all of them are election scammers.
Okay, South leaders reject 3%.
Yes, 3% rejected by South leaders, 3% rejected by Southeast leaders, of which I'm one of them. How could you give 30% to the community that are not producing oil? 3% give it to South, where the oil resources are coming from. Who will accept such? Ijo leaders, do you think Ijo leaders are that moronic that they could accept such cruel decision or policy? Ask the bricks, ask the Bembrus, ask the clerks. What are you telling me? Ask the like of the Dukes in Cross River State. Ask the Akwa Ibomite, they will say no. Ask the Imolite where oil is coming and Abia and Anambra State, we will say no.
But the bill has been passed.
The bill has been passed. That will show you how bad is Nigeria. We can never be one Nigeria. The communities that are producing oil must protest it until they revise it. Is Nigerian constitution irreversible? Do you think we are operating rigid constitution? Our constitution is still flexible. We can revise it. It is not final say. Those Scarwas, those two Chinas in the house, they go there to legislate what will interest only their families and their pockets. Nigerian system of democracy here is not the way it's being practiced in America there. The system of democracy we practice here is government by the representative of the people and their family members. It is not for the people anymore. government of the representatives of the people, for the representatives of the people and the members of their family. What I'm saying?
If this 3% goes to the communities, will they utilize it?
Thank you so much. I myself, I don't propose that they give them any percentage. Federal government of Nigeria, if you are sincere with yourself and the entire citizenry, go to the host communities from where this black gold is coming. Develop them like Abuja. Develop Ijaw communities like Lagos. Develop the whole Warri area like Lagos and Abuja. Go to Abia State and Imo where the oil is coming, or Haji Agbama is full of bush, swamp. Go to Akwa Ibom. Develop, transform Akwa Ibom like Lagos State. Transform or Haji Agbama like Lagos State. Go to Anambra State where Orient Gas or oil company is. We have oil there and gas. Develop that community like Abuja, the way Abuja should be. That is a true federalism. What are you saying? What do you mean by percentage? From percentage will go to governor. Governor will see his own and do what? Transfer to local chiefs with low mentality. Local chiefs with low mentality will steal their own. Before you get to the infrastructure there is no money. Or guys, let me if I draw the pyramid here for you, you will be marveled how that 3% or 30% will be reducing as it goes. Before I get to the real infrastructural development amenities, the money is finished. We don't need percentage anymore. We want action that demonstrates. When action demonstrates, you will see good results.
Okay, Senate approves $8.325 billion.
Yes. No, don't go for that. Don't go for that. Lawan Ahmed, Senate President, have you forgotten what you said in the past? When a man vomits bullshit in the beginning, when it is playing back on him, or when he's being surrounded by Omona, his kinsmen, now what you said is bad. You are the one that said this in the past. He will do what? He will disown it. He said, if Buhari venture past anything to his table, desk is going to do what? Approve it. We are borrowing another $8.something billion. You Nigerians in the diasporas hand over nearly 500 million euro external loan again. Plus what we are owing down. Servicing of debt. After borrowing this, the amount we are going to use to service our debt will be running to 60 trillion. When we are going to spend next year only 30 trillion, how much will remain? So what are you saying? Borrowing money again. So, Lawan, I know you have approved it. Nigeria, all of you, get ready. China is going to buy all of us. China is going to buy the whole Nigeria. China is going to buy Anambra, buy Imo, buy Abia, buy Lagos, buy Kano, buy Kaduna, buy Abuja, buy everywhere.
It's true now. Because they say he wants to borrow money, borrow Nigerian money.
China is going to buy all of us, including Chigos themselves. Chigos from Imo State. China is going to buy all of us. China is going to buy you. If they borrow that money, China is going to buy all of you. Some the way they talk, whoa. Very soon, China will adopt him. They will go and serve China in one of their 2 factories. MPF, Nigerian soldier, people in the house, you guys don't have shame. All the time, police will be shooting innocent civilians. Soldier was pulling their trigger. Just the other day, they killed at Ladipo. 2 businessmen, traders, soldiers killed them. Very soon, Nigerian military will be turned to what? Chinese military. Nigerian police force. Now China man go there. China go house to house. They arrest us because they were virtually going to take every facet of Nigerian economy. My brethren, I say bye today.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sunday. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
Mr. Raphael, China is going to...
This Janjaweed nation, every day that they fight boxing inside representative house, Janjaweed nation we don't expire in 1960. This nation, you know that many Obasanjo package Nigeria, Yaradua package, Jonathan package, for Buhari with illiterate brain, collapse everything collapse under his watch. Since under Buhari, the other year, they carry staff of authority go through away for dustbin. From House of Assembly, they carry this thing. They make go through away for dustbin. They go pick and inside dustbin. Every day you wake up in the morning, you see mad people representing some constituency fighting inside, representing, and the whole world are watching. This one a country. This Janjaweed nation ruling by Janjaweed leaders. All those who are there, they are all janjaweed. They have nothing to offer. And that is why you see that the problem we are fighting in this country is the representative, those madmen. What they are fighting for is how to feed their family. They are not representing you. They make you make tribalism to cause problem. They turn you religion to cause problem. If you have money, you are living right. Will you come out to fight for any representative, any government official? No. That is why they bring poverty, they bring hardship, they bring hunger in the land. They make things worse so that you'll be fighting yourself. Because of what? Mad people, all of them, I call them madman. That is janjaweed. The word I hear from my leader, Nnamdi Kanu. Thank you, my brother. You know, Nnamdi Kanu give the name Zoo, janjaweed, everything, because that is what we recognize them for. They are not representing anything.
How do you look at the bill, that electronic transmission results? How do you look at the bill?
Okay, because the federal election, people that are causing problem are the north. If you go there for north, they will come to west and south and east, tell them that from 18 years, only 18 years will be voting. But when you go to north, 1 year, Peking, they will go vote for election polling unit.
1 year.
You never know anything, Abi. How many are there in the north? When they go do election, you go see how many million people. From 18 years, some of them get 5 voters cards. You know, yes, northern people, they get 5 voters cards. They go vote for year, vote for year, vote for year. After they will say, see number will come out, but education don't key western people and eastern people, because they thought that they are well educated. But when it comes to those northern people, when it comes to election issue, they have the brain more than everybody. That is why they will not allow electoral bill to be passed into law. Because if it pass into law, they will never access any seat in the north again. That is why you don't confuse yourself. Don't follow these people dragging, shouting that they will pass the law of electoral law into bill. Nothing will happen, because the northern people will never allow such thing to happen, because they are the one benefiting from it. They are benefiting, because when you come here now, you see police, they go say this one never reach 18 years, this one never reach, okay, for north 5 years they vote, 6 years they vote, 1 year they vote, 2 years they vote, 15 years they vote. But when you come here, you claim education, you claim that you are more educated than others, you make your life and your people's life miserable. You come and carry people 18 years, some of them 100% don't have, 95% don't have voters card. You don't know voters card. If they are talking about doing voters card self, if they know they are not using voters card to vote, if you don't read there, you are free to do what? To vote.
With what?
Okay? You stand for land. We did it before. When I was in the north, I tell you, I live in Kano. That time in 2011 then, because when Jonathan come, but they are using this thing, you see, they will say from 18 years, that is people that will vote. But when it comes to polling unit, you know people. You see 5 years, 1 year, 3 years, Kano, all those people are animal now, you don't know. That's why if they are talking about population, they think northern are more populated than the west or the south. But when they go there, they go count cow, they go count goat, they go count animal, they go count everything joined together, carry the thing, say northern are more populated people in Nigeria, which is not true. I will tell you that is not true. The west and the south are more populated than those people in the north. How many are there? How many are there? Just tell me how many. But because of education, we want to follow Western way, and we make education turn our brain to something else. That's why the north illiterate are misusing the country. We have people that call themselves professor, like Oshibanjo is a professor. When he has signed the seat of vice president, what has he done? They're not paying him out. He now become deaf and dumb. He cannot fight for his people, and he cannot fight for himself. He turned to clean up for Aso Rock, and you are.
That is vice president.
He turned to clean up for Aso Rock. Not only when they say Buhari send a era, that is when they run. But to fight for his people, he cannot speak. During Obasanjo and Atiku, you know how Atiku or Obasanjo like this, because of what? Atiku is from the north. The northern people push him. Don't allow this man to overrule you. If he overrule you, he have a plan in his mind, and that is why Atiku never give Obasanjo British space. He trouble Obasanjo. Everything that Obasanjo want to do, Atiku will stand against him, because he's from the north. Obasanjo is from the west. But when he come now, they carry western person. Oshibanjo that don't know anything about government issue they carry am follow Buhari so that Buhari go turn am to clean am for Aso Rock. And now all the whole representatives are afraid of Buhari. That's why a good thing that will favour the people that represent him, they can't sign it. Anything that want to favour the masses, they will stand against it. Since they are throwing boxing inside only Nigeria, only African country where I see representative they fight.
They have that in Kenya.
Okay, Kenya na country. No be Kenya. If you want to join Kenya, if you want to call Kenya, Kenya are the Fulani people. Those are the people that join together to cause the problem we are passing through, because Kenya has damaged their name by allowing Nigeria Janjaweed government to arrest Nnamdi Kanu in their country. Those people, they have damaged their image. They have made themselves useless. They made themselves, no African country will value them as a country again. My brother, what will happen in Kenya in a few years to come? It will surprise even you, sir. You will not believe. My brother, don't think about the country that is not working. This country, they were putting a petroleum bill to give 3% to people that have the oil. Go to Delta State, no water, no food, nowhere to farm. And they want to give the 3%. Who will collect the 97%? Who will collect the 97%? Answer me now, they look. Who collect the 97%? The Janjaweed Iflani terrorist group. They want to. Okay, wait. How many they will give to East? 3%. The remaining 94%. Where is it going? Going to where? Abuja. Who are those people in Abuja? I don't know the northern people. Who are those who? The person represent the petroleum industry. Where is it from? Who is the minister of petroleum? Is it not Buhari? Anything concern petroleum, that's everything is scattered. We give a president seat, you know if he handle him. He can't carry petroleum minister, give himself. He occupy the seat, nothing work. My brother, that man called Buhari is a waste investment. That people that die, I only pity those people that kill themselves because of they want to fight for Buhari to be president. He's a fake president. He has nothing to offer. Only what Buhari like every morning. He will wake up and cause trouble. Only trouble now be calling. You go wake up in the morning, you go send soldier, go Ladipo. Now all the soldiers now say don't talk to Boko Haram. You see them for road, say you go to fear. Because you cannot say our security agent now you go to happy, you go to fear. Because they no mind to open gun now begin to shoot you. Because of what? The Fulani people are dominate their brain and put the wrong injunction, Boko Haram injunction. Okay. And the word they are using is against the people on the street. My brother, United Nations, ECOWAS, nobody they talk now, but the time when the thing don't spoil, now go find way to now carry for Nigeria. But that day, I go fire all of now. When boy don't carry gun, everybody go carry gun because we cannot allow ourselves to be killed by useless Janjaweed people from the north. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's wonderful from Mr. Sunday. We are moving to the end of the program this morning. I'm Christian Chuku. A big thank you. The man behind the camera, Mr. Bori. Bye for now. We'll meet tomorrow as we run away from the rain. Thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow.